Hello everyone, and welcome to the Elite Four battle for my Triple Team quest. I am 95 Fathoms, and this is a shiny hunting quest that I embarked upon over 2 years ago now at the beginning of 2023, and here in April of 2025, as I record this, I have finally finished compiling 3 teams of shinies in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The entire premise of this quest was to triple hunt everything across 3 different games simultaneously, and I mostly tried to do triads of Pokemon, 3 Pokemon that thematically fit together. A couple of exceptions to that, like the Evolutions, where I hunted for 8 total Eevee, and only 7 made it on my final team because I kept one unevolved, and that one I used up until a certain point but did not make it on my final set of teams. And then Larvitar I hunted solo because I was expecting to phase on a few things before I got it, and I didn't. And then I have Weezing on my team, this middle game here that I hunted alongside the Voltorb and Geodude that you can also find in the Rocket HQ, but those did not make it on the final team either. So anyway, it's sort of an unusual quest that I embarked upon, but for now, I wanted to take on the Elite Four and hopefully take you through it with me. I have been playing through this entire quest simultaneously on all 3 games. I'm not just a multi-hunter, I am also a crazy multitasker in many facets. So it kind of comes naturally to me. But commentating on 3 different games at once on top of playing 3 different games in battles that are probably going to be somewhat difficult to win given my fairly unoptimized teams might prove a bit of a challenge. But I'm going to do my best. So we're going to start out on Will here, and I've got in the lead of my party all 3 unevolved Pokemon that I currently have on my teams, though Pupitar will evolve into Tyranitar. It's just not high enough leveled yet, and I didn't want to jack it up all the way to 55 before fighting the Elite Four. I probably could have afforded to do that because these, as I said, these teams are highly unoptimized, and I'm probably going to struggle against the Elite Four, so over leveling a little bit wouldn't be unjustified. But so I'm going to use Tentacool. Is really not that great of an attacker, certainly not if it's not evolved into Tentacruel. So I tried to make it a little more of a utility mon, and there's only so many Elite Four members that Toxic Spikes will work against because Koga is most like all poison or otherwise immune, and then Lance is all flying, so also immune. So we're going to use Toxic Spikes, we're going to use Discharge with Chinchou, and then we're going to use Rock Slide with Pupitar and see how that goes. Xatu is jumping right to it with Psychic, but hopefully I can tank that. Yeah, the other 2 games take out Xatu no problem. Okay, got a critical hit. Well, I got 1 Toxic Spikes down first, so I guess there's that. And we're going to just switch straight to Umbreon. And these games are already ahead of the game, I guess. I do have the games set on shift because given that these teams are so unoptimized to begin with, I don't want to hinder myself even more. And more than that, I don't want to have like my weak Pokemon just never used because I don't feel comfortable switching into them. But the French games, for some reason, show the Pokemon name early on in the line when they're prompting you to switch, versus like English games where they say it at the end, so even if you miss the first part of the dialogue, you know what's getting sent out next. So it ends up being very confusing. It's something that I run into frustration with multiple times. Pupitar will definitely not take out Slowbro in one hit. We're going to go with Bite again on Umbreon. We're going to go Signal Beam on Chinchou and Crunch on Pupitar. I don't think Crunch is going to take out Slowbro, and it probably will kill Pupitar. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to kill Pupitar. But one more Signal Beam. Oof, that's rough. Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. I just hit Dig on Umbreon. That's not... Well, now we're both going to waste a turn, I guess, because that you can't do anything with that. That's the one thing with controlling 3 games at once, is you often do make mistakes. There have been... Oh, it outsped me on the... That's weird. Anyway, let's just bite it and actually, hopefully, do it for real this time. Charge Beam with Jolteon. Exeggutor should be easy because I got Signal Beam. That's 4 times damage. Hopefully Slowbro gets taken out. Yeah, okay. Umbreon hit itself in Confusion, and it's using me first again. Bite is not going to do very much to Umbreon. This left game is really lagging. Really lagging. It still hasn't even taken out its first Pokemon yet, has it? I love Confusion. Okay, well, these games will just plow on forward, and I guess the left game will get there when it gets there. Okay, we're going to use Discharge on Slowbro and Shadow Ball with Jolteon. It's kind of a hard decision which Pokemon to use the Shadow Ball TM on, but I decided on Jolteon. I wonder if I'm not even seeing that. Jesus Christ. Okay, Quick Claw activated, so that's nice. Oh, I didn't even see what Slowbro did. I should have anticipated that because I got the special defense drop. Okay, well, we're going to use Bayleaf. And what oh, did it? Please tell me it didn't hit itself in Confusion again. We're going to use Magical Leaf. Bayleaf, neither of Bayleaf's attacking stats are very good, to be honest. Magical Leaf is also just better against Slowbro because it's a physical attacker. Or physical defender, rather. And we're just going to use Shadow Ball again against Exeggutor. And let's use Magical Leaf again. Finally took out this Xatu that was a pain in the butt. Let's switch to Quilava for this. Okay, Slowbro's down on the middle game. Thank you, Bayleaf. I'm glad Bayleaf got a little bit of time to shine, no pun intended, because Bayleaf is unfortunately just not very easy to use for a lot of stuff. I love it design-wise, but I can't deny there's a reason. Okay, that's Last Resort. I'm not gonna learn that. I didn't even see what... I might have seen what Pokemon was next, but I've forgotten. Use Lava Plume with Quilava. Hopefully that'll take care of Exeggutor. I'm going to send out Flareon. Flareon has Bite. Again, I missed what's actually getting sent out next. So let's just go with Croconaw. Okay, Xatu. I would imagine we're pretty close to Xatu on both games, since Xatu would be the last Pokemon, yeah. For Slowbro, yeah, we want Raikou, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna use Bite with Flareon, Crunch with Croconaw. It's such a shame with Flareon that it gets so shafted because it's a physical attacker without a whole lot of access to physical moves, certainly Fire-type physical moves, but there's just not that many Fire-type physical moves in this generation is the problem. And, like, even if it got Flare Blitz, I don't like Flare Blitz. I don't tend to like recoil moves. But there's just, like, so few physical fire moves, and most of them are, like, specialized, like Blaze Kick. Like, Flareon's not going to get that. Slowbro's almost down. There's Bite from Flareon. Okay, it takes out the Xatu. Okay, so that game is actually done. I should have been focusing. Croconaw is still struggling over here with Confusion. We love that. And by we love that, I mean we don't. Quick Claw activate. Would love to see Croconaw land. Yeah, it landed Crunch. Okay. I'm going to use Crunch with Raikou as well. This game is done with the battle. Keeping battles synchronized while fighting on while like playing 3 games at once is a challenge. Okay, Will's down on that game too. So now all that's left is Xatu on this last game, and we'll try to do it quickly here to keep it in step. Just kind of spam Charge Beam. No, actually, I'm going to use Crunch because I want to save my Charge Beams. I would love to have had better electric moves on all of my games, but there's not a whole lot of access to better electric moves at this point in the game. I tried to keep my save files independent. I didn't want to just like take an endgame file that I have and like speedrun to like the best possible moveset, but I also like to have good movesets, so it's kind of a dilemma there. I could have access to Thunderbolt if I farmed Voltorb Flip, but I frankly just didn't feel like it's 10,000 coins per like good TM at the Goldenrod Game Corner, and I just didn't I've ranted about Voltorb Flip before. I don't need to do it again. I wish Voltorb Flip were structured like slightly differently, and I would enjoy it so much more. If it were a straight up logic game, I would genuinely love Voltorb Flip, and I would play it all the time. But it's a luck based logic game, so fundamentally you can be as smart as you want, and you still end up a victim to luck most of the time. I'm gonna heal up really quickly, and I will see you in the next match. Okay. We're all healed up, and we're ready to take on Koga. Got my leads all switched up, except Pupitar staying in front, because it's got rock and ground, which is pretty good coverage for most of what Koga has. Certainly for his Ariados, which is his lead. I have fought the Herkultils over Elite Four a lot, so most of it isn't going to come as a complete surprise to me, unless I've forgotten certain moves or something. So I'm going to use Flamethrower and Fire Fang on these games, and then Rock Slide with Pupitar. Should be pretty effective in eliminating Ariados. And, ooh, critical hit from Flareon. Yep, all three of them took it down in one blow, so that's nice. That's a nice contrast from last match where everybody was all off sync. I don't know... If these two games are sending out... I definitely saw that Muck was coming out on this left game, I think, and maybe the middle game. I guess I'm going to go for Umbreon and then Weezing. I imagine he's not going to go for Muck on this game. But, whatever, let's stick with Pupitar. Forretress, yeah, that's what I should have anticipated. Oh, they sent out Forretress. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so Umbreon's gonna use Dig, but my Weezing, actually, the reason I had selected it is because Weezing has Hidden Power Psychic, which is pretty cool. I don't actually know how, like, good that is, quote unquote, but, it also has Fire Blast, so we're set on that. I think... What I'm going to do, I'm going to swagger the... I know Koga's Muck is annoying as hell with minimize and stuff, so we're going to use swagger to try to stop it from setting up at all. We're going to use... Oh, it used Protect. But we're using Earthquake with Pupitar. See if Fire Blast can hit. And there we go. Muck hit itself in Confusion. Love to see that. Toxic Spikes we don't love, and this is like the one game that doesn't have anything that can absorb that, I don't think. Do I have anything that can absorb it? No, so that's very annoying. But we'll go for another EQ, and then we're going to dig with Umbreon. Again, I didn't see what he was sending out. But we're going to stay in, because I've got Hidden Power Psychic. I wouldn't have known what... Okay, I would have guessed that was Venomoth, but I wouldn't have known. God, does he... He has... I forgot he has a Black Sludge. They really made Koga's Muck... I almost said Muck's Koga. Koga's Muck way more annoying than they needed to. Okay. And then we're going to use Hidden Power Psychic. Oh, I didn't think about the fact that Venomoth has Psychic. But Weezing is pretty bulky. Fortress goes down. Let's see the Hidden Power. Have to assume he's going to full restore his Muck, and he is. I actually should have thought about that as well, because... I'm just going to keep Pupitar in. Because I should have swaggered again. Weezing is barely holding on. We're going to use Rock Slide on this Venomoth. We hate the Minimize. We hate Minimize. We're going to try Swagger. Okay. We're just going to switch to Espeon on this game. And we're going to keep Pupitar out. Grottomorph. There's Mach. And we're going to have to EQ it. Okay, Toxic is very annoying, and Synchronize won't work. So that's unfortunate. That muck went down in one hit on the far right there. That's very funny. I mean, it's not funny. I guess both of those mucks did. This game was always going to have some trouble with muck, though. Most unfair. Oh, that's going to be Crobat. Probably on both games, and both of these Pokemon are well equipped to handle Crobat. Now, if oh, ooh, that was close. If he had hit Gunk Shot with +2, that would have been the end of Umbreon for sure. We don't love the double team on that far right one. I'm gonna dig, even though it's using up another turn and gives Muck a chance to set up with Minimize, and also has Toxic Advance. Koga's done on this game, but Rock Slide missed, of course, because this loser is using double team. Because Koga loves his evasion strats, I guess. Okay, but there's the Rock Slide landing. Hopefully that means the end of Crobat. Muck finally goes down on this left game, but it's going to take a little bit to catch up. And Umbreon is very close to dying. But we're going to have to switch Umbreon out anyway for Quilava in order to... I'm going to try for the Rock Slide again. He's got Wing Attack, so that's not doing a whole lot to Pupitar. And we're going to use Flamethrower. That should definitely OHKO Fortress. Rock Slide took out Crobat. I'm trying to think of who else he has left on this left game. I don't think he's sent out Venomoth yet. Fortunately, Quilava is absolutely set for that. That won't be a problem. Crobat, we can take out with... let's go Glaceon. Let's try Glaceon, because I already used Raikou in the last match. Let's use some ice moves. Could have used Vaporeon too. But so he had 2 Pokemon left, so I think Venomoth is probably the other one. I'm gonna go Icy Wind. I could also use... I think Icy Wind is gonna be more powerful with Stab. Yeah, it definitely is. But I also have Hidden Power Psychic on my Glaceon. So that's kind of fun. I actually had a pretty difficult choice. Oh, this sucks. I had a pretty difficult choice with who to use Hidden Power on, because Hidden Power in Gen 4 is not nearly as easy to get a hold of, at least in Heart Gold Soul Silver. It's like only in the Celadon game corner, I think. This is horrible. Oh, this is positively horrible. I hate evasion strats. I don't think that's gonna... Oh, it did OHKO. Okay, sweet. Because I did not want to have to land a second move on that. I was thinking... I don't think Roar has accuracy. I do have Roar on my Raikou. So I was like, maybe we just pull out Raikou and Roar it to get rid of the +4 evasion, which is disgusting, horrible, and should not be allowed. Okay. Yeah, as I said, it's kind of hard to keep games in sync when you're playing on 3 at once, especially when, like, you know, some teams are going to be better equipped to take care of stuff than others. So let's just start healing up on these games. Anybody faint? No, nobody on these games fainted, so we can just heal. Okay, that's Koga done on this game, so I will heal up real quick, and I will see you in Bruno's room. Okay, and into Bruno's room we go. We're going to try Toxic Spikes again. I don't know how effective it's going to be, but again, Lance, unfortunately, Toxic Spikes will do nothing against him. Stealth Rocks, now that would be useful, but I don't have Stealth Rocks. I think you can get Stealth Rocks before the Elite Four, but anyway. It wouldn't go on Tentacool in any case. It would have to go on, I assume Pupitar could learn it, but we're gonna tell you what, we're gonna start off throwing down Toxic Spikes on this game, and we're not gonna control the other 2 yet, because otherwise this game's gonna be way behind them. Okay, it's digging. Now I could just throw Toxic Spikes again. Actually, hang on, I got Protect. Let's do that. Hopefully he goes for dig again. And then what we set. So, okay, so all of his Pokemon are going to be subject to Toxic now. Counter is not going to do anything to me. You tried, but no such luck. And I guess we're just going to send out Vaporeon. I don't have a direct counter on this game. I don't have... Oh, I have Glaceon has a Psychic type move. However, Glaceon is also weak to like every single Pokemon that Bruno has. So we're gonna go with Surf, Psybeam, and then Aerial Ace, my Leafeon. Got the Evolution crew out, the 1st gen, 2nd gen, and 4th gen Evolution representatives. Oh, that's unfortunate because that's definitely counter. So Leafeon is dead. That's very unfortunate because I was planning on using Leafeon for most of this battle. Espeon is trying to learn Last Resort as well. I'm not going to teach it. I guess we're going to keep Vaporeon out. For Onix, I'll switch over to Bayleaf. Bayleaf isn't going to get much attention this round. I honestly don't. I may, if I don't revive Leafeon, I don't have a whole lot of great options here. Let's send out Entei. I don't think I've used Entei yet. We're gonna use Magical Leaf just because Onix has much worse special defense, and then I'm gonna use Flamethrower with Entei. See how that goes. Yeah, I knew Hitmonchan was gonna throw Thunder Punch at me if Vaporeon didn't KO it, but it's not enough to be threatening to Vaporeon. He is going to 100% full restore. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that, but I guess we are doing it. His Hitmonlee has Blaze Kick, I know that. Does Flareon have Flash Fire? I'm trying to remember. Yes. Okay, so let's do something very funny here. Okay, I didn't think about Onix being next. Oh, it used Swagger. I was definitely counting on Blaze Kick. Okay, let's send out Lapras. I haven't used Lapras yet, so we're gonna switch into Lapras. Yeah, I end up having to do set for the most part anyway. Kick. That's some kind of kick. I didn't even see what it was. But if I... Oh, God. Dude, that's brutal. That's just brutal. Let's try Tentacool again. And see if Tentacool can do something a little more actively effective. Let's go for Suicune on this game. And so we're going to Surf with Lapras. We're going to use Gust, which is not good, but Suicune doesn't get a whole lot of other coverage moves at this point. And then we're going to... It's already poisoned, so let's just go for Surf. Swagger is not good because I'm not... Tentacool is not a physical attacker, so it doesn't help me at all. And of course Tentacool hit itself in Confusion. I feel like I've had some really bad RNG lately in these files. Okay. Surf again. Gust again. I don't even know what's coming out on this game because it turns out it's kind of hard to pay attention when you're controlling 3 games at once. So we're just going to send Entei back out because I think Entei is probably my best bet against most of his Pokemon. I could heal. I'm not like... I'm not somebody... I've said this before, I'll say it again. I'm not opposed to healing in battle. However, I do try not to. I think it is more fun if you aren't just, you know, super soakering it the entire way. But, okay, well, that's it for Tentacool. Unfortunately. So it's using Focus Energy. I guess Onix got off a Sandstorm while I was taking a turn swapping out. Honestly, it's... Yeah, you know what? I'm dumb. Surf is more powerful. With even without stab, Surf is more powerful on Suicune. I don't know how fast Glaceon is. But we're going to send out Glaceon, try using Hidden Power Psychic, and then we're going to use Flamethrower. Suicune still can't land a move for the life of it, so I guess that's it for Suicune. Okay, so Glaceon is fast enough to knock out Hitmonlee before it gets hit, so that's nice. And I'm guessing that's Machamp on this far right game. It is Machamp on this far left game. And fine, we're just going to go all the way with Espeon. You know, Espeon is kind of a cheat code against a fighting type user, but whatever. And we're going to use Flamethrower and Hidden Power with Entei and Glaceon, respectively. That's it for Hitmonchan. That does not take out Machamp, and he is... Oh, he's got no guard. So whatever he uses, I'm dead. I forgot about no guard. Yeah, Glaceon is goner. I was thinking, well, maybe he'll miss with, like, whatever move he uses. Nah. I'm assuming, yeah, it's got to be Machamp left on this game, too. Mako, Mako, no idea if that's even close to the correct pronunciation. These two, the middle and right games are good. This left game is going to struggle a little bit more. I guess we'll go with Vaporeon. Okay, Entei is maybe not good. Entei could die to a crit here. It hung on with 1 HP. Oh, wait, is Sandstorm still active? Because that's going to kill Entei if it is. Yeah, as I expected, the game with Espeon did not have any real problems. I mean, it got a couple of KOs on it, but the left game managed to catch back up, and now the right game is struggling here. Okay, Sandstorm is gone. You miss these little things when you're, again, controlling 3 different games. Now, Vaporeon wants to learn Last Resort. No, I do not want to teach Last Resort. Oh, okay. I forgot Onyx was still left on this game. I guess it didn't want to send it out against... Tignon is, that's Hitmonchan. I guess we'll send out Croconaw, because I don't really want to send out anybody else against Hitmonchan. So, that'll be it for Onyx. There's no way it tanks the hit. I don't know that... Well, Toxic Spikes was doing a little bit of something, but it is a lot of work to set up for relatively little payoff, I will say. Unfortunately. I would like it to be more effective than it is. But the truth is, those kind of really, like, strategic defensive strats just don't generally do that well in in-game playthroughs. Because the AI just... It just generally is more effective to knock them out as fast as possible. But again, Tentacool just doesn't have... It just can't do that much damage. So as a utility, it's much more useful. But it doesn't even have that much utility. I was debating if Toxic would be better, but I don't have access to Toxic at that point. So anyway, Croconaw took out Hitmonchan. That was the last one on the game. I'll heal up, and I'll see you in Karen's room. And we're entering Karen's room. Right game lagging behind a little bit because I thought I had already moved around Bruno, and I hadn't. Okay. Karen's going to be a little bit tough because I don't have great counters. Basically, none of my Pokemon could get fighting moves at this point in the game, which is a shame. Fighting is always a nice type to have. Croconaw can get Superpower, but not yet. Brick Break is exclusive to the Battle Frontier as a TM. So I think the only fighting type move I have is Jolteon's Double Kick, which is going off of its worst attacking stat. So we're mostly just going to be going for decent damage, but I do have Signal Beam. So that bug type move is going to help on this middle game with Chinchou, and then we're just going to go for Flamethrower on the right game. Because Umbreon is tanky, you just got to kind of go for it. I considered doing a mirror match between her Umbreon and my Umbreon. God, yeah, Double Kick is doing nothing. And Umbreon is using Double Team on all the games. So I'm probably going to use Swift with Quilava. But we're just going to have to use Signal Beam and Hope and Pray, and then... Of course it missed. And, honestly, I think Charge Beam is going to be better. There's no way Charge Beam does less than Double Kick did. Payback killed Chinchou? Dang, that's unfortunate. It is unevolved, and Eviolite does not exist, sadly. Eviolite really was a game changer for, like, using unevolved Pokemon. I always get sad playing games earlier than Gen 5 and wanting to use an unevolved Pokemon, because I'm like, oh, I can use Eviolite and it's more viable, and then I remember, nope, I can't do that. That's not a thing yet. Okay, we're gonna just keep using, we're gonna use Flamethrower with Quilava, because this is not working, and we're gonna try Razor Leaf. I have Magical Leaf to bypass the, of course, Jolteon is confused, but it hit. There comes Payback again. And Flamethrower did good damage. I don't think Swift will KO. We're gonna try it though, because I'm sure Flamethrower is gonna end up missing. Dang. Corner. Oh, that's Murkrow it's using. I don't know why, or she's using. I think I'm almost positive that's Murkrow. I don't know why she would send out Murkrow. I'm gonna send out Lapras. Just because Jolteon's confused and everything. She's gonna heal 100%. She's gonna heal. Oh, she didn't heal. I could have used Swift. Imagine if I had missed. We're gonna use Ice Beam, and then we're gonna use Magical Leaf and hope that that hits. Quilava took out Umbreon. That's good. Umbreon is always a wall. Every time I fight Karen, it's always a pain. Unless you, I mean, if you have a solid fighting type move, but I feel like I usually don't. Like, sometimes if I'm, like, if I have a high enough level for Alligator, I'll have, like, Superpower. But even that's not ideal, because if you don't knock it out the first time, then your attack is lower. So Murkrow is on, I think both of these games are getting Murkrow next. So we're going to send out Glaceon and Suicune. I don't know who she's, I'm guessing Vileplume is coming out next. So we're going to send out Entei. Okay, I was right. Both of these games are Murkrow. Yeah, that's definitely Vileplume. I don't know how it would be pronounced in French, but it's like the Rafflesia, which is the Rafflesia, however it's pronounced. I first learned of them from Animal Crossing Wild World, not aware that that was the plant that Vileplume was based on. So I read it before I ever heard the word. So it's one of those cases where I learned to pronounce it incorrectly because I read it from a book. Anyway, I think I did actually read it in like a strategy guide for Animal Crossing before I actually saw anything about it in game. I actually don't know if it's spelled out in game, come to think of it. We love the 3 KO there. That was excellent. So Houndoom is coming out on this game, and we've got Vileplume coming out on this game. Definitely changing to Vaporeon for Houndoom. That's a little spooky, and then we'll switch to Flareon. I could see Houndoom coming out on this game too. Ectoplasma. No, that's Gengar. Duh. But fortunately I have Bite, so we're set on that. So we're going to use Surf on Houndoom, Fire Fang, and then Bite. Houndoom using Nasty Plot is scary. We don't like that. We don't want to see that. We want to see Houndoom dead. That is what we want. Was that... it just used... what's the Spite? Spite and lowered my Bite PP. Fortunately, Bite has a lot of PP and I haven't used it much. Okay. Houndoom and Vileplume both taken out. This is still... Hang on, why does this... No, it's... Yeah, that's Last Resort. The name was not looking the same to me. I've seen it in French like twice already. I don't know why it was not looking the same to me. That's what I've already seen. Okay, Entei is trying to learn Fire Fang. I was going to learn it, but I did some calculations, and if I'm correct, I think Flamethrower with Entei's special attack stat being lower is still a little more powerful than Fire Fang, and it's more reliable. So, but I don't know what she has. Oh, she has Houndoom left on this game, I believe. So we want to switch to, and no, we don't want to forget anything for Fire Fang. Fire Fang is just, it's just too low power. Okay, Vileplume, I was wrong. I was hoping it was Gengar. Wow, I was totally wrong. Well, let's use Swagger, so Umbreon's not completely in vain, and let's Surf with Suicune. What does she have left on this right game? Is it Houndoom on this game? Yeah, Houndoom's only come out on one game, so let's send out Pupitar. That was Focus Blast that Gengar just used. Okay, Vileplume paralyzed me, so that's annoying, but it also paralyzed itself through Synchronize. Surf will do a number on Gengar again. Let's use EQ on Houndoom. I can't use EQ on anything that Lance has anyway. Swagger's doing work on Vileplume. And let's use Aurora Beam, just so I'm not using up a whole lot of PP when I don't need to do that much to knock out Gengar. Moonlight on Vileplume is so annoying. And Houndoom is out. I think right game is done. Demolose. That's probably Houndoom. That's a sick name. I love that. We're gonna keep Suicune in for that. Yeah. It's very cool seeing some of these French names. Some of them are very interesting. My favorite so far, I mean, either like, you know, people talk about Quack Quack is Golduck. I think my favorite is Crab Boss for Kingler. That's just amazing. Can't believe its name is just Crab Boss. I mean, it is the boss of the crabs. I mean, see that big claw. Okay, Vileplume broke out of confusion and it's healing itself. You know, normally we do like to see nature healing. In this case, I would prefer it didn't. I think it's trying to learn Ice Fang, and it's a special attacker, and I don't want to get rid of any of its other coverage, so we're gonna not learn Ice Fang, unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna Swagger again. The left game lagging again. I don't think it was the last match that the left game was lagging on. I don't remember. That's gonna do a number. And hopefully one more bite will take out Vileplume. Yes, there we go. That should be it. Oh wait, no, I think she still has Houndoom on this game. Yeah. No, Gengar. I can keep track of things, I promise. Okay, Gengar is gonna be... Oh, it has Focus Blast. I forgot about that. So Focus Blast is gonna be a little bit spooky for Umbreon. And I can't make it flinch because I'm definitely not faster. I'm gonna bank on Focus Miss. Ooh, or Quick Claw could activate, and I could knock out Gengar. Excellent. I was gonna say I'm banking on Focus Miss, Focus Missing, but I didn't have to. Now Umbreon is gonna hit level 50, and Umbreon is gonna try to learn Last Resort. Don't want to learn Last Resort. No. Thank you. I don't know if Last Resort is actually, like, viable. I've never seriously used it. I think I used it, like, once or twice just to, like, test it out. There's Karen's iconic quote about strong Pokemon versus weak Pokemon. Okay, everybody's caught up now. And all that's left is the champion, which is crazy. I've been so, like, scrambled trying to keep up with everything that I haven't even processed the fact that we are one trainer away from entering the Hall of Fame. I will see you in Lance's room. All right, here we are in Lance's room, ready to take him on, and we will see how this goes. I am certainly a little nervous. It's kind of funny to me that his name is... Peter just feels much more mundane to me than Lance does, or however Peter would be pronounced in French. But here we are, versus Lance, and let's see how this goes. Lance is always a little scary. Unless, I mean, I guess there are situations in which he wouldn't have to be. I mean, I do have legendary beasts, so I guess some might say I'm overpowered, but I also have some pretty weak Pokemon on my teams. Again, the unevolved Chinchou and Tentacool. We probably won't be getting to see much use of Tentacool here. Certainly won't be using Toxic Spikes. So I'm set up for electric attacks. Charge Beam, Chinchou has Discharge because it learned that naturally, but the other two are using Charge Beam. We better hope it hits. Of course. Of course one of them was going to hit. It was going to miss. Because I've had good luck with it so far. I had to use it a bunch of times on one of those battles. At least we hit on the second one, and ooh, we got the special attack boost on Raikou. That's very nice. It's very nice to get. Okay, Dracolosse, I assume, is Dragonite. The question is, which Dragonite is he sending out first? I'm going to guess he's doing the same against Jolteon. But he's got one that has Fire Blast, one that has Blizzard, and one that has Thunder. I'm guessing Thunder wouldn't go in against anybody but Chinchou. Well, I'm going to keep Chinchou in, which is a little bit spooky, but Chinchou is Blizzard. Chinchou is kind of what I'm depending on in this game for Ice-type moves. I guess I do also have Suicune, but Chinchou outspeeds. That surprises me. And then we use Icy Wind and Ice Beam. That is Outrage. Okay, so it doesn't matter which of the three moves it has, because it's using Outrage. Lapras is fairly tanky, so yeah, so it manages to tank that. I am positive that Chinchou is not going to tank that. Is the level 51 the one that has Fire Blast, I feel like? Yeah, poor Chinchou. It's a shame. No, I don't want to learn Last Resort. Jesus. Nobody told me that it was going to be a nightmare having a team of evolutions and having each of them sequentially learn Last Resort. Should have leveled them up to 50 before the Elite Four, I guess. But I don't know. I felt like I wanted to be slightly below the peak. Aerodactyl. Let's keep Glaceon in. Let's not get too hasty about switching it up. And Lapras on this game too. Aurora Beam with Suicune hopefully will take out this Dragonite. Okay, and then we're caught up. Let me slow up a little bit, try to keep everybody in sync, because for the champion battle it would be really nice to finish at the same time. Oh, he's going straight for the next Dragonite. This has got to be the one that has Thunder, I think. Unless that... I'm pretty sure the one that's level 50 is the one that has Fire Blast, but I could be wrong. No, Aerodactyl is probably going to I forgot how fast Aerodactyl is. I'm going to use Icy Wind, Aurora Beam, and Surf. But yes, Aerodactyl outspeeds and hits both Lapras and Glaceon. Lapras might tank that. Glaceon almost definitely won't. Okay, I was wrong. Lapras is the one who couldn't tank it, I guess, because it already had so much damage taken. That's disappointing. Oh, he used Thunder Wave. But he's gonna full restore. Okay, the Glaceon took out Aerodactyl, so that's great. We're gonna Waterfall. I forgot Aerodactyl had Thunder Fang, so that's unfortunate. Don't paralyze, don't flinch. Okay, at least Croconaw gets a move off. Oh god, Hyper Beam is not fun. Oh! I mean, it is Suicune, I guess. Dang, that did nothing. That did nothing. Okay. He's healing Aerodactyl, so we don't have to worry about that. Maybe I'll even get a high roll and knock it out. Suicune level 51. The beasts are definitely carrying their weight here, for sure. Another Dragonite. And unfortunately, I guess I just have to keep in Suicune. Let me see how many... Since he's got 3 Pokemon left on... Well, once Aerodactyl is down, it'll be 2. We're going to switch to Vaporeon for Charizard. And how many Pokemon are left on this game? I feel like... Okay, there's 3 Pokemon left on each game. But once Aerodactyl is down, it'll be down, as I said. More than that. So we're going to go Surf, Aurora Beam, Waterfall. Okay, that's... Dragon Rush. And Aurora Beam. Okay, Charizard is out, Aerodactyl is out, and Dragonite is out. We love to see it. Okay, that is the last of his Dragonites on this middle game. It is just like the beginning of it still in the other 2 games. I'm gonna keep these two in, and then I didn't even see what he was sending out, actually. Maybe I'll leave Suicune in, just to see. Terra, that's gotta be, yeah, Aerodactyl. Suicune is probably gonna faint here, but we'll use Surf, and then Aurora Beam on the left, and Ice Fang on the right. Yeah, Thunder Fang. Oh, this is the Thunder Dragonite. Yeah, that's it for Croconaw. It would be so nice if I had as much luck with those low accuracy moves as the NPCs always do. The attack lowering could be huge on the Vaporeon game. Yeah, Suicune is down and Croconaw is down. I'm going to send out Weezing, because Weezing has Thunder. And on the middle game, I'm going to go for Pupitar because of Rock Slide. I actually did use an Elixir on Rock Slide because it was down to 4 out of 10 PP, and since Rock Slide is a low accuracy move, or it's not 100% accuracy, I figured it's good to have. If I believed he wasn't going to full restore, I would quick attack, but he's definitely going to full restore, yeah. And, okay, so we're going to use Thunder and Hope. I do have Rain Dance on Suicune I could have used, but it's kind of a risk with one of his Dragonites having Thunder, so. Okay, we got Rock Slide and Thunder. Okay, Aerodactyl lands Rock Slide on me while I land Rock Slide on the Dragonite. Thunder lands. Okay, Dragon Rush again on Pupitar. That does a lot of, holy cow, that did a lot of damage. Aerodactyl is paralyzed. That's great. Okay, these left two games are down to their last Pokemon. And this game on the right is lagging behind. Okay, we outspeed Dragonite, which is weird. I don't think of Pupitar as being that fast. This is a plus speed nature on my Pupitar, I believe. It's hasty. But still. I guess we're going to keep Pupitar in. Yeah, we're going to leave the other two games just holding on for a minute because I want to see if I can catch up. Rock Slide flinching would be huge right now. Actually, Rock Slide doesn't flinch until a certain generation. I don't remember if Gen 4 is when it starts. Okay, well, if it can flinch in this generation, it didn't. So that's it for Pupitar, unfortunately. I'm going to send out Jolteon. Jolteon will definitely outspeed. If Pupitar did, Jolteon certainly can. And, I'm going to use... Oh, God. Jolteon probably is not going to survive this. Oh, yeah, it had half HP. No way it survives. Even if it were at full HP, I don't think it would have. I'm going to try Leafeon. Just because I would rather not immediately go to the Legendary Beast. We're going to Aerial Ace and Prey? I don't even remember what he has left after this. And there's the Blizzard that's definitely going to take out Leafeon, and he's going to full restore his Dragonite. I was really confident that I was hoping, I was crossing my fingers I wasn't going to have to revive anybody, but I'm in a danger zone now. I might have to. These other two games are just sitting here. I was not hoping to be doing this for that long, but... okay, we're going to use Stomp. See how much damage it does. Hopefully it does a lot. Flamethrower, I can't imagine it's going to do more. Oh, that does nothing. That is absolutely nothing. I'm going to have to revive, because I don't want to take a chance on whiting out. So we're going to revive Lapras. Thunder Wave. Stomp is basically useless because he won't flinch now because I'm not going to go first. So we're going to use Flamethrower and hope maybe that does more damage. I can't imagine it will. It could burn, and the attack drop would be really, really helpful right now. Oh, okay, that was a critical hit. That makes sense. I'm going to try Flamethrower again. Dragon Rush missed. Come on, Flamethrower. Another crit, a burn. The burn, I don't think the burn is going to kill in that range. It did! It did! Huge, huge. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now everybody's on the last game. I think that's Charizard left on this game. Interesting that each game ended up with a different final Pokemon. I hope Lapras doesn't get knocked out by... Yeah, I guess Fuel is fire. So it's like Fire Dragon. It's so weird seeing such an iconic Pokemon with a different name, even though, like, obviously it's a different language. Okay, Aurora Beam on the Dragonite. I don't think that's gonna KO, but we'll see. Surf on Charizard. Air Slash, we don't love to see that. And then I'm gonna use Thunder because he's probably gonna Full Restore, yeah. Okay. Thunder missed. Thunder missed. Okay, the left game just won. We get the second chance with the Quick Claw, and he's gonna Full Restore his Charizard. Rock Slide. I was really hoping these games would stay synced, but okay. He's Full Restoring again because Lance does not have my aversion to just Full Restoring constantly. Okay. It would be nice to get like a crit. Okay, Quick Claw again. Okay, he's not Full Restoring the Dragonite, the Charizard. Fire Fang barely survived. Thunder knocks out Aerodactyl. And Charizard is down. Okay, I'm going to be honest. That was not as much of a problem as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to struggle much more. And I tried to stay away from just, like, hardlining the Legendary Beasts the entire time. Oh, wait. There's still another game on the middle. There's another Pokemon in the middle. I'm dumb. I forgot about Charizard. First time anybody could ever say that. Unfortunately, this Weezing is out of Thunder PP. I don't know how that happened. Does Aerodactyl have pressure? I guess it probably does. That would explain it. Because I was like, was I using it against something else that had pressure? But I think I just got to go down with the ship with Weezing. Dang, that would have been really cool if I had not screwed that up and Aerodactyl had been his last Pokemon. That was very cool that both of the middle and the right games got it at the same time. Okay, we're gonna go with Espeon, and we're gonna just Psybeam. I could Hyper Beam. I rarely ever use Hyper Beam, except I did use it in Gen 1, but it was broken in Gen 1. But Espeon doesn't have a whole lot of other coverage moves, and it's a great special attacker, so what a way to go out. Oh, man. Okay. Espeon is leveling up to 51 and not 50, so we're not going to learn Last Resort again. And finally. All 3 games beat the Elite Four. It was a little discombobulated, but I managed it. I'm feeling pretty satisfied. I don't know how horrible this commentary is going to end up being. I'll do my best to edit it together, because I think this would be fun. I don't know. There's probably some people who would find it interesting to watch somebody beat the Elite Four on 3 different games at the same time. For people who are like less, I don't know, whatever is wrong with my brain that makes that something that I enjoy doing. Here we are, into the Hall of Fame. I can't say it's been a long time since I last came here. Actually, maybe it has been. I don't remember last time I beat the Elite Four in a Heart Gold Soul Silver game, but... No. We want everybody to be there at the same time. This left game is lagging behind a little bit. There's Chinchou and Jolteon and Raikou. Leafeon, Espeon, and Vaporeon. Quilava, Flareon, and Pupitar. I'm not calling any of them by their nicknames this entire time, mostly because they're weird Latin names, and I'm probably figure I'm going to confuse everybody. Maybe I should be calling them by their nicknames. Suicune, Glaceon, and Entei. My favorite legendary beast. Tentacool, Bayleaf, and Lapras. That's everybody, right? No. One more set. Sorry, Umbreon, Weezing, and Croconaw. Hey, I'm watching 3 games at the same time. I can't keep track of anything. That's the end. Oh my god. Seeing all 3 teams together like that is so cool. I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is like the best part of a DTQ. I mean, there's a lot of great parts of like, I mean, this isn't a DTQ either, but like a shiny team is getting to the Hall of Fame and seeing that and knowing that you hunted all these Pokemon, seeing them come together, seeing them in that Hall of Fame screen, it feels like the culmination of all those efforts. I forgot how good all the ID numbers are on these games too. I knew Kyrula was good, but Allison got fairly close to a palindrome, and Chrysos, like the 2 zeros at the front is kind of insane. Also, if you're wondering the difference in the playtime, I was thinking about that too. I'm pretty sure it's because Chrysos did not have to catch a legendary beast. And that Raikou catch took forever. I don't know why the Allison game has more. I mean, there are all sorts of variables, but for like the 4+ hour, about 4 hour disparity, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And now, possibly either the best or second best, in my opinion, credits music in the entirety of Pokemon. I probably prefer the Gen 2 version just for nostalgia's sake. I also love the Gen 1 credits music, but this credits music just feels like home. I love it so much. Well, as I said, it was definitely a little discombobulated. It was more difficult than I thought it was going to be. I don't know how well my commentary kept up with what I was doing. I probably left things out because I have been known to not verbalize things that like I'm just sort of understanding in my head before. And that's when I'm not controlling 3 games. So we'll see if this actually came out well. But while the credits are running, just talk about some stats. All told, across this quest, I got 29 shinies so far. A total of 228,328 seen. There were soft resets, there were roamer encounters, there were random encounters. You know, there was game corner and starter resets where it's not just one Pokemon per SR. So that's the number of Pokemon seen for an average of 7,873. Remarkably close to odds given how ridiculous the luck was at the front end of this. Voltorb and Voltorb and Coughing both going over 30k really did the heavy lifting on that one. I had one 22k hunt. The EV that I evolved into Glaceon was 22,620, and that was the next longest hunt on this quest. And I had a couple of other EVs went over 10k, but I had two of my fastest hunts ever were on this quest alone. The accidental Mr. Mime while game corner hunting for Eevee at 30 Pokemon seen, and the first shiny for this entire quest, the Totodile that took me 45 starters seen. They are only surpassed by the first encounter in Arena that I hardly even count it in my head because I didn't get it recorded in any respect, and it just feels too surreal. It's like I feel like I can't count that. But I have the Mr. Mime, I have the Totodile. Those were recorded live on Capture Card. If you've been keeping up with this, or if you've just happened upon this video and you watched all the way through the discombobulated ramblings as I fought the Elite Four on 3 teams, then, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a kick out of it. And as always, best of luck on all your hunts, and take care.